basketball head coach Sytia, and she will go ahead and open up the floor to questions.
Well, Coach, I'd hate to come back to this familiar theme, but I noticed Hannah wasn't on the floor today, and now she had the unfortunate injury late there too. Let's start with Emily. I don't know what we know exactly, but next week would you start to plan to not have her for next week?
So I'll answer your first question first.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're moving forward with the pieces we have on this team.
Mm-hmm.
With Emily, I'm still waiting to talk to the doctor. After the game, I hadn't had a chance to speak with our doctor just to see what we have. I do know she's a tough kid, so
yeah,
if she was able to come back, she would have.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody will doubt that, especially when she was doing that. At the time she left, she was leading the team in rebounds, so
right.
She was doing her part there for sure. But another piece too, somebody who put in a performance we hadn't seen yet, career high 12 points for a dang ring. Another step in her advancement, right?
Oh my God, Dane really is stepping up when you need her, right? I've always known that I've been part of a national championship, and I know that it's the pieces you have on the bench that's the most important, even more important than the starters, because they're the tone setters in practice. And Dane has been a very good tone setter in helping us prepare and get ready, right? And now it's her opportunity. And so I was so proud of her in the way that she stepped up in these last 2 games, because we need her. And I think that in life, when you're given the opportunity, you just got to be ready for the moment. And right now, Dane is ready for the moment, and we're going to give her an opportunity to continue to show us what she can do.
And yeah, you mentioned the opportunity there too. You mentioned this team being young. An element of that, it felt like you guys early on, obviously another tough start. It felt like early on you guys were still kind of trying to find that footing, going with the players that you had on the floor. Were there certain elements? Did you see that too? That there was still kind of a unsureness where to be on defense. The little details were still not quite there, right?
Absolutely. When you look at it, we have 9 new players that never played together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of chemistry trying to get people to go together, right? So that's important. But you saw initially was trying to find our chemistry, and even with us trying to figure out the best 5 there. Because the best 5 that was at TCU was not our best 5 tonight. So again, that goes back to the depth and being able to have different talents on the bench.
Yeah, well, and we mentioned the past 2 games. Obviously, the TCU game, that was a tough, a tough opponent up there. The Cincinnati game, you knew was going to be close. Both of those having good starts was a big part of the competition there, I think, to say the least. So, as you guys move forward, we talked about you guys being a young team. Will that start to take care of it itself? Yeah.
As we move forward, it's a great point. It would start to take care of itself.
Trying to find a positive, because we talked about, we've gone down the list of guys and girls, or I should say, the players you have that were missing around December and battling that. Does that experience kind of help with this next man up that you're going to have to deal with, especially with things looking the way they might be? Yeah.
Well, I looked at the fact that, like you said, Emily led us in rebounding, and one of our keys to winning was to out-rebound them. And I felt like we battled on the boards, okay? Mm-hmm. But again, we're figuring out that top 5 together.
Mm-hmm. And I'll go back to something I want to ask you about with Adang. Like, she's got a kind of a wiry build, but was still banging around in there with pretty good strength. I was impressed with her boxing out. Would you say the same?
I will say the same. She's a physical player, and she's young. I mean, you look at the bench, we got some young talent, very young talent. So I was impressed with her, and she had to grow up tonight. This is an experienced team we're playing against, and she had to step up.
Okay, and 2 more from me, and one I'm going to ask. We've talked about going to the season, seeing more from Michelle, maybe doing more perimeter stuff there too, with M going down. I'm not asking for the playbook, but is there a possibility you might see her rotate outside and do more of that?
We have to. If Emily is not, we'll have to adjust the Shaw and Mahogany on the outside. And
so obviously the road game next week to Iowa State. I'll cheat and take turnovers off the table because I know that's probably what you want to see change most on the stat sheet. But what is the piece you'd like to see most improve heading out on the road there to battle the Cyclones?
Well, I would say, we have to adjust offensively. They're going to throw a lot of junk defenses at us. You're going to see everything, and we have to be ready to adjust. And so with that, we have to be able to prepare for their different types of defenses, take care of the ball, as you mentioned, and finding the right five that's ready to go. And that's something that's a good week because it's our bye week. We get a chance to evaluate that and adjust and practice and before we get to our state.
Yeah, for all the talk we have about whether a small gap or a long gap is better, this feels like a big gap week might be a little bit better for this particular instance.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's absolutely. And we're going to get better and do some things in practice that we're ready for.
Excellent.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much,
We
Coach.
appreciate you.